Hello everyone. Welcome back to the world of English exams. In this video, we are going to look at how to write the body paragraphs and the conclusion for the Ielts writing essay type, that is, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So in the previous video, I have explained in detail how you can write a good introduction for this essay, and this is going to be the continuation of the same. So if at all you have missed the previous video, don't worry, I am going to give the link in the description box. So you can check that out and you can understand how to write the introduction for that. Now, let's understand what is the structure of the body paragraphs and how you can write it sentence by sentence. I am going to teach you this concept with the help of a sample question. So do stay tuned till the end of the video if you want to know the complete information about this essay type. Now, as you can see, there are various types of essays in the Ielts writing exam, like discuss both views and give your opinion, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages that we are going to look at in this video. Do you agree or disagree? To what extent do you agree or disagree? Two-way question or double question. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Problems and solutions, or causes and effects. Now, these are the different types of essays that as a student you must practice very well and attain perfection before writing the main exam. If at all you are looking for the detailed, descriptive and informative videos for all these essay types and many more tips on the Ielts test, do stay tuned to our channel and check the other videos out on our channel worldofenglishexams.com. And on that note, let's continue the video by looking at the various parts of an essay. An essay basically consists of three parts. The first thing is called the introduction, which is the start of an essay. Followed by the introduction, you should write the body paragraphs. The number of body paragraphs can be variable depending on the type of essay and the type of question prompt you get. You can either choose to write 2 body paragraphs or 3 body paragraphs at the maximum. See to it that you are not extending beyond this point, just to make sure that you are limiting the time and you are following all the constraints. Then the final paragraph is known as the conclusion, which should exactly convey the same meaning as the introduction but using a different word. But make sure you are not including any new ideas in this paragraph. It just should be a recapitulation of whatever we have spoken in the body paragraphs and in the introduction. Now, on that note, we shall just overview what we have learned in the previous video. We have learned that the introduction consists of 3 structures or 3 sentences, I must say. The first one is called the paraphrase statement. Followed by this, you will write the thesis statement and overview. So you would begin the essay by paraphrasing or rewriting the given question in your own words. After that, you state your opinion clearly, and particularly in this essay, it is required to state your opinion clearly as to whether the advantages are more or disadvantages are more. You need to take one side. That is what is the meaning of do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So that is what we are going to state in the thesis statement. And then there is an optional statement called overview, which if you want you can write it, else you may want to skip that. So we have understood that by following this structure, we have seen how to write the introduction also, and let's go on to reading the question. Some people prefer to live in a house while others feel that there are more advantages to living in an apartment. Are there more advantages than disadvantages of living in a house compared with living in an apartment? So this is indirectly stating do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. So this is what is the question and how it looks like. And then we also have a general statement given the question, like give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience, and you need to write at least 250 words. Now this is what is the question, and clearly we must first make an effort to understand what the question means. The question is not asking just for the advantages and disadvantages, but it is also asking us to take a stand on it. Whether we feel that advantages of apartments are more, or are there more benefits to living in an independent home. So this is what we understood by the question, and this is what is the introduction we have written sentence by sentence. I have dealt in detail in the previous video. Choosing a place to dwell has been a debatable issue in the recent times. While some individuals are opting to live in independent homes as it offers privacy and freedom, others prefer to reside in apartment complexes owing to their cost effectiveness in terms of maintenance and the proximity to various amenities. This essay argues that the benefits of living in residential apartments preponderate over the apparent drawbacks, with supporting details and relevant examples before reaching to a logical conclusion. So this is how the introduction must look like. It has covered all the main points of what we are going to highlight in the subsequent paragraphs. So now as we have written a good introduction, let's see how to write a body paragraph. So just like we have understood that there is a structure for the introduction, we also must understand that the body paragraphs would also follow a pattern, a cyclic structure, which looks something like this, what you can see on the screen. So any body paragraph should start with what is known as a topic sentence. So the topic sentence is the brief overview of what is being conveyed through the body paragraph. So let's say you're talking about advantages. So you need to introduce the advantages with the help of this topic sentence. Then after you have established the point, then you need to support it with something called supporting evidence, which is also called supporting detail. So this sentence exemplifies the concept further and strengthens your argument. So after writing the topic sentence and supporting it with evidence, we need to give what is called a survey. Instead of writing a survey, you can also write your own experience, because the question prompt clearly mentions that writing a survey or an experience is acceptable. Then after you have written this, you need to write an internal conclusion. Now this internal conclusion is something that is not mandatory. It is just an optional statement. Okay, so now after you have understood how to write the body paragraph, let me just recapitulate it. Any body paragraph should contain a minimum of 3 to 4 sentences. The first sentence is called the topic sentence, followed by supporting evidence, then followed by survey or experience, and then internal conclusion. So now before starting to write the body paragraph, always follow a 5-step method, which I already discussed in the previous video, but I want to discuss it once again because I do not want the students to miss out on anything. This 5-step method is known as the power strategy. There are 5 steps in writing a brilliant essay. The first step is planning, wherein you brainstorm and get all the relevant ideas pertaining to the question. Followed by this planning stage is the organizing, where you logically sequence the ideas one after the other, and you get a framework or a skeleton of how the essay should look like by the end of these 2 stages. Only then you begin to write. Never start writing directly, as you may descend into confusion and it may lead to lowering the score. So after you have written the essay, then it's time for you to evaluate for any possible errors, like grammatical errors or spelling mistakes or whatever it might be. So you're just going to evaluate and finally review and recount. Guys, writing a minimum of 250 words is very important when you're writing an essay, because under-length essays are going to receive a penalty in the form of low band score. So we are not going to give away, we are not going to give up. We are going to write a minimum of 250 words. Of course, there is no upper limit, and upper limit is only attained due to practice, I must say, because for each of you, the way you think and the way you present your ideas might be different from the others, isn't it? So for this reason, definitely the planning and organizing are two crucial stages for writing an essay. So if you follow this power strategy, then definitely you will see that writing an essay is very easy. It's just a piece of cake. So this is the question that we looked at, and let's particularly write the body paragraph number 1 sentence by sentence. And before that, what is the view that we have established in the introduction? We supported that residential apartments have a lot of advantages as compared with an independent home. So we should only focus on proving that idea with relevant examples. Now let's see how the body paragraph 1 looks like. So this is the sentence by sentence structure of the body paragraph. The first sentence, as I told you, is the topic sentence, and let's see how to write it. To begin with, the foremost reason to choose an independent home as an abode is the freedom it provides. To begin with, I am writing that the foremost reason, or the primary, the first reason to choose an independent home is as an abode. Abode is the place where we live. Okay, is the freedom. So I am highlighting that the first advantage of living in independent homes is the freedom it provides. Now, in order to substantiate this, I am going to give a supporting evidence. How do I write it? There will be an opportunity for individuals to lead their lives without having to worry that they would bother their neighbors, isn't it? So when we are living in an independent dwelling, definitely we will have more freedom when compared to living in apartments. To exemplify, now I am taking it further. To exemplify, one can design a home as per their tastes and requirements to insulate the noise, for example, and can organize get-togethers and kitty parties with ease. So, if at all I am living in the comfort of my own home, then definitely I can organize such get-togethers and meetups with friends in a much more convenient way. It will be more feasible and easy for me to do so, unlike in an apartment complex where I require to take certain permissions so that I don't disturb and bother the neighbors. Okay, so now having understood this, let's see the topic sentence number 2, which is the third sentence. Secondly, which means I am going to state one more advantage. Secondly, an independent dwelling is often more spacious. So first reason is, of course, freedom and privacy. The second one is the spaciousness. So it is often more spacious than an apartment and is seen as an added benefit to have a garden where one can relax in the comfort of their home. Definitely, right? If I own an independent home, then definitely I can have a backyard and a lush green garden wherein if at all I am a nature lover, I can actually sit back and relax without having to worry about anything. So that is the second advantage which I stated for an independent home. Then I am talking about a survey. Indeed, a survey clearly showed that dwellers are people who occupy a home. So dwellers prefer to live in individual homes as they like the tranquility of the place. So tranquility is the calmness, peacefulness. So this statement clearly states that people do prefer to live in independent homes as they have certain advantages. So as you can see, each and every sentence is well linked with the next one, offering a good level of cohesion and coherence. So this is how you need to write it. However, you should not distinguish and you should not separate individual sentences. The body paragraph should look like this. Okay. So this is how it must look like. Let's read it together. To begin with, the foremost reason to choose an independent home as an abode is the freedom it provides. There will be an opportunity for individuals to lead their lives without having to worry that they would bother their neighbors. To exemplify, one can design a home as per their tastes and requirements to insulate the noise, for example, and can organize get-togethers and kitty parties with ease. Secondly, an independent dwelling is often more spacious than an apartment and is seen as an added benefit to have a garden where one can relax in the comfort of their home. Indeed, a survey clearly showed that dwellers prefer to live in individual homes as they like the tranquility of the place. So this is how I have written the introduction and the body paragraph 1. Guys, why don't you try writing the body paragraph on your own depending on the question? Are you ready to do that? Okay, so I will give you 5 minutes of time to write the points and make a good body paragraph. Maybe you can write it in the comment section so that I can check it, and if you want the detailed feedback I can give it to you. So write it in the comment section below, and your 5-minute time starts now. You have 4 minutes more. Three minutes to go. Two more minutes. One minute to go. Seconds more. Okay, so that is how you write the first body paragraph. I hope all of you might have understood that. And following the same structure, now let's write the second body paragraph as well, in which I favor living in an apartment. Okay, again I start writing the topic sentence. Although independent housing has copious number of advantages, that is a lot of advantages, then apartment blocks have been the preferred choice of many, since it is easy to maintain this kind of accommodation. So the first advantage that is bestowed by an apartment to the individuals is that it is very easy to maintain. Now, I would like to support my view with a supporting evidence statement. To elucidate, maintenance expenses like of an apartment are generally lower when compared to an independent home, which is a financial blessing, isn't it? Of course, money saved is definitely going to be a financial blessing. Now, heating and cooling a smaller area will require lesser consumption of gas and electricity. So, it would be a very good way to save the electricity and gas bills. So, this is the supporting statement. Then, what is the second advantage of living in apartments? In addition to this, that is, the first thing is lesser costs. So, in addition to this, living in apartments is a sustainable option due to their proximity to various amenities of the cities and towns like shopping malls. So definitely apartments would be constructed in a more central location when compared to independent houses, isn't it? So that's why it is very close, or proximity is more to the major amenities like shopping malls. Unlike most individual houses, apartment blocks often come with amenities like gyms, swimming pools and laundry rooms. Of course, in addition to all this, there are more advantages like amenities such as gyms, swimming pools and laundry rooms. So, all these factors are an added asset to living in apartments. Now, the internal conclusion. Thus, the advantages of dwelling in an apartment are multitudinous. That means many. Instead of writing many, I use the vocabulary word multitudinous. Now, let's see how to read this body paragraph. Although independent housing has copious number of advantages, apartment blocks have been the preferred choice of many, since it is easy to maintain this kind of accommodation. To elucidate, maintenance expenses of an apartment are generally lower when compared to an independent home, which is a financial blessing. Heating and cooling a smaller area will require lesser consumption of gas and electricity. In addition to this, living in apartments is a sustainable option due to the proximity to various amenities of the cities and towns like shopping malls. Unlike most individual houses, apartment blocks often come with amenities like gyms, swimming pools and laundry rooms. Thus, the advantages of dwelling in an apartment are multitudinous. So now I want you to take, let's say, 3.5 minutes, and I want you to write this body paragraph as well. Start. One minute up. 2 minutes up. One minute more to go. Thirty seconds more. Fine. So that is how you write the second body paragraph as well. Now let's understand how to write the conclusion. So the conclusion should not exceed 2 sentences, and mostly if at all you can sum up everything in one sentence, that would be fantastic. Like this. In conclusion, though residing in independent homes is behoofful, that is advantageous, beneficial. So, though residing in independent homes is behoofful, mainly for individuals who prefer a secluded, that is a silent, private place to enjoy their freedom, I strongly opine that the merits of living in apartments outbalance. Instead of writing outweigh, I give the vocabulary word as outbalance the pros of independent abodes owing to their nearness to the basic facilities and their minimal maintenance costs. That's it. So this is how I have rewritten the introduction as the conclusion. Nothing new. No new ideas were introduced, as you can see. So this is how the essay should be finished. And finally, when you write it in the form of one essay, it should look something like this. So let's read everything together. Choosing a place to dwell has been a debatable issue in the recent times. While some individuals are opting to live in independent homes as it offers privacy and freedom, others prefer to reside in apartment complexes owing to their cost effectiveness in terms of maintenance and their proximity to various amenities. This essay argues that the benefits of living in residential apartments preponderate over the apparent drawbacks, with supporting details and relevant examples before reaching to a logical conclusion. To begin with, the foremost reason to choose an independent home as an abode is the freedom it provides. There will be an opportunity for individuals to lead their lives without having to worry that they would bother their neighbors. To exemplify, one can design a home as per their tastes and requirements to insulate the noise, for example, and can organize get-togethers and kiddie parties with ease. Secondly, an independent dwelling is often more spacious than an apartment and is seen as an added benefit to have a garden where one can relax in the comfort of their home. Indeed, a survey clearly showed that dwellers prefer to live in individual homes as they like the tranquility of the place. Although independent housing has copious number of advantages, apartment blocks have been the preferred choice of many since it is easy to maintain this kind of accommodation. To elucidate, maintenance expenses of an apartment are generally lower when compared to an independent home, which is a financial blessing. The consumption of gas and electricity would be lowered when heating and cooling a smaller area. In addition to this, living in apartments is a sustainable option due to their proximity to various amenities of the cities and towns like shopping malls. Unlike most individual homes, apartment blocks often come with amenities like gyms, swimming pools and laundry rooms. Thus, the advantages of dwelling in an apartment are multitudinous. In conclusion, Though residing in independent homes is behooveful, mainly for individuals who prefer a secluded place to enjoy their freedom, I strongly opine that the merits of living in apartments outbalance the pros of independent abodes owing to their nearness to the basic facilities and their minimal maintenance costs. So I hope all of you have understood this. If at all you found this video useful, don't forget to give a like to this video and share it with all your friends, and do subscribe to our channel World of English Exams. Till I see you with the next video, happy preparation guys, and if at all you have any queries, please do not hesitate to post them in the comment section and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Thank you.